work out every day, I work on main channel videos, and I work on festivals. It's just those three things. Yeah. I wake up, I do that, and then when I'm done, I go to bed.
Health, we got passion, and we have business. 2 of the 3 fuels the main one, which is the passion.
My videos don't make money. Yeah. Even when I do a brand deal on a video, I still lose money. I lose like over $1 million a video.
I have to look at my content as my marketing channel, my marketing department for revenue.
You know how they say it takes 10,000 hours to master something, right? I'm gonna put 10,000 days into this. Like 10,000 days is like 30 years, and I'm almost 15 years in.
Was poppin'. Welcome, Nicky and Moose. I'm Nicky. That's Moose. What's up, Moose?
What up, y'all?
And on this episode, we're going to be talking about how to optimize your Instagram broadcast channel for the best engagement, which top CEO just went to space. We're going to talk about the key to having a successful personal brand like MrBeast. Yes, we're going to talk about it. Influencer marketing will replace traditional ads. And then mass appeal versus niche focus. Which strategy is the best for personal brands? Moose, how are we feeling about this episode?
Listen, y'all, this is our most rehearsed episode ever. So a really good episode. Make sure you listen to it. And also stick around for the after show. That's gonna be a fun topic.
Let's get into this intro.
2 kids from Queens, cut from a different cloth. Now joining forces, helping you to elevate your personal brand. Yeah, I'm talking about Nicky and Moose, bringing you a never-before-seen perspective into the mindset, the mentality, the behaviors, the driving force, but more importantly, the stories behind the people and brands that you know and love the most.
And of course, this episode is powered by Ecamm Live, the #1 all-in-one streaming platform that not only allows you to stream on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the social media platforms, but it's also amazing for pre-recorded videos, just like a podcast. So it does video isolation, audio isolation, transition, text, pictures, it does everything. You name it, it could do it. And we're giving away 14 days for free on us if you just go to www.nickyandmoose.com/ecamm, ECAMM, to claim that 14 days on us. Moose, how are we feeling?
I'm feeling much better now. Not nearly as nervous as I was before. And yeah, things are great. This is going to be an awesome episode. And I'm keeping it nice and short and sweet, just like that.
Okay, so no one knows why you were nervous before. What are you talking about for the people who have no clue besides me?
For
today, Junior,
we'll get, I guess, maybe in more detail on the after show. But no, maybe we'll archive some of the what just happened. So. For those of you who don't know, this is our, well, you don't know. Let me let you in on what you didn't know. Let me let you in on what you didn't know. This is our second time recording this episode, about 2 hours into this thing. Crazy. Yeah, we were Wi-Fi gods, but not for nothing though. Wi-Fi gods did come through. Wi-Fi gods, audio guides. Thank God. This is all to say. No, because it was funny that we record. This is the second time we recorded this episode. The first time I was outside in the balcony because it was super early, but also the Wi-Fi was terrible. Audio was crazy. We had to do all these crazy things. Well, not we, but Nicky really had to do all these crazy things. I called her on FaceTime audio to get this thing working, and 50 minutes into the episode, the thing crashed.
Yep.
50 minutes in. It's like, we're like right there. It's like, all right, let's get ready to call this thing home. And oh no. Now, I didn't see you, by the way, because what I did was the image was so bad, I just put like myself up on the screen because I wanted to see something clear. Because if I saw me blurry all throughout, I'm gonna be like panicking. So I just put me. So I didn't see I didn't see any of your facial expressions. I just heard you on the phone. no. I was like, uh-oh. Let me just stay quiet. Hopefully this clears up. And sure enough, the thing crashed, man.
Yeah, it happens. It's the tech issues that you have when you are creating content. It is what it is, but we're here. We have amazing energy, and you don't know what happened the last one, but this one's about to be better anyway, so it works out.
There it is.
How's Egypt? Let's inform the people real quick.
Yeah, Egypt's been incredible, man. We fortunately took a couple of days just to escape because Cairo. So think of Cairo like New York City, super crowded, very busy, very loud, a lot of traffic. But that's where the pyramids are. That's where a lot of what Egypt is known for is, and like the museums, etc. So we took an escape to a resort it's a 5-hour drive, but we flew here, which only took us an hour. But beautiful resort here out by the Red Sea. So we're hanging out here for a couple of days. We were here 2 nights. This is our final night. And then we'll go back to Cairo tomorrow before we turn around and go back to the States.
That sounds amazing. An escape from the escape. That's interesting.
Escape from the escape. Yeah, because that escape was wild, man. I'll tell you all about the full details of what happened at some point, but yeah, that was wild. So it's nice to be here, a little bit more calmer, kind of
We'd like chill. To see the pyramids though. The pyramids look fire. It looked fire. And it was funny. I always find crazy. I don't know why all these Egypt stuff are happening in my Instagram, but I saw one you had literally posted about the pyramids, and then I saw one of somebody having breakfast by the pyramids. Like they drove, and then there was a section to have breakfast by the pyramids, and I was like, I wonder if they had breakfast by the pyramid. I don't know. Like,
we did.
Why am I getting all these?
We actually did.
You did? Okay, so it may have been the same place. Yeah. Okay, look at that. Great.
Yeah. Nah, it's a really dope setup up there. I will admit, it's my first time visiting. I mean, I came to Egypt once, even after I migrated to the States, but never to the pyramids, only to the museum. So this time was the first time I actually got to see the pyramids in person. It's like, that was just everything that was happening there was really dope. But they also are kind of like renovating and doing some new things. So it was really fun.
That's dope. Did you see a mummy? Yeah.
No, I did not. No, because we didn't go inside. You know, like
you can go inside.
I didn't know this. Yes, you can. Yeah, I didn't know this either. But you can actually go inside the pyramids, and because we had breakfast at the top of, I guess you call it the desert, basically at the very top of it all, we weren't close enough. Like it was like the perfect photogenic type experience. You go, food was amazing. They baked this. It's like a traditional Egyptian bread, and they had like this old school oven that they baked it in behind the restaurant. Brought it out hot, fresh, tasted amazing. That's all I wanted to eat. I was like, just give me this bread. And so right there, and then obviously right behind you or to my right, perfect view of all 3 pyramids. But then as we drove down, I saw like the entryway where you can actually go inside. So next time we'll probably go inside and see what that's about.
That's fire. I like mummies. So yeah. But anyways, as far as for me, I want to say, based off our last podcast, not the one that we by accident messed up, but literally the last one about Mr. Grateful, I have become a very smart individual. Thank you, ChatGPT. I have really started data dumping a lot of the stuff that I have, things about this podcast, things about just things I have to research, and the output has truly been amazing. We've done a few pitches that I got to send out. It helps me with my follow-up emails. I'm doing amazing at those. This is great. So if you did not listen to the last episode. It's going to probably change your life. So go do that first and then come back here. But yeah, ChatGPT, I love you. I wish you were always part of my life. Shout out to all the babies that can use ChatGPT and been cheating in school, even though it's banned over there. You're still using it. Shout out to you. I need to do that. But anyways, let's get into this episode. So, let's talk about the What's Poppin' section, okay? This segment is sponsored by Deeper Than the Brand, the #1 content branding community that shows you how to confidently and authentically build a brand, grow a social media presence, and build digital wealth. Go to deeperthanthebrand.com. Now, let's talk about Instagram broadcast channels. We talked about it before, but now it's open to all creators. Before, it was only open to a few creators. Now everybody can have it. If you don't know how to start a broadcast channel, which, by the way, is a one-way communication with your followers, okay? So they can't talk to you, but you can send updates, pictures, audio notes, that whole nine to them. And it's great to build a community inside of Instagram. If you don't know how to start one, all you have to do is go to your profile. On the top right, there is a plus sign. Hit the plus, and on the bottom, you're going to see channel. Or the other way is if you open up your DM and you press a new DM, you should see the broadcast channel option there too. So there's 2 ways to start a broadcast channel. Now, when you start your broadcast channel, what is the best way to optimize it? How can this actually add value to your audience? So let's start with the first tip. The first tip is that you actually want to go deeper into a specific topic. People will stay there and probably engage a little bit more if there is a specific topic, not just Nicky updates, Moose updates, that whole nine. But if you're talking about your niche and they know exactly why they're going into this broadcast channel, this will increase retention and, like I said, engagement, which is important because some people, there's almost everybody who's trying to create a broadcast channel and giving out just blah stuff. And so they're not really paying attention. If you give them something specific to look up, they will pay attention to it. 2, let's customize it. Let's give it a customized name and look. Have it maybe like a community name, like Content Corner, slight plug. Creator Ave, another slight plug for Nicky and Moose broadcast channel. You could change up the theme inside of it. So give it your own swag. 3, make your first message count, okay? This is going to be the very first thing they see before they actually join the channel. So you want to be very descriptive of exactly what are they going to expect in this broadcast channel so they know, yep, this is something I'm interested in, or nah, I ain't interested in it. And then 4, let's promote the channel. When you first create it, it's going to do a full blast, and then you're going to get a bunch of people to come in. But after that, it's actually up to you. So put it in your stories, tell the people on your post to join it, go live and tell people to join your broadcast channel. And then, of course, it's going to be on your profile, right? Pretty much, I believe, right next to your link in bio, it's going to show your broadcast channel. So just direct people over there. And then last but not least, explore different formats, meaning not just do text, do audio notes, do pictures, do stickers, GIFs, do videos, maybe show behind the scenes, give them exclusive tips. Try different ways to create content within this broadcast channel. Remember, the energy is coming from you. So you're going to have to try different ways to keep them engaged. But these are just some of the tips to best optimize your Instagram broadcast channel. Slight plug. Nicky and Moose has a broadcast channel. It's called Creator Ave, and you can find it on our Instagram profile. It's right next to the link in our bio. So, start a broadcast channel, follow those tips, and you're going to see some success.
So mini breakdown right there too. Look at that. You got four actionable items to go along with the topic. So switching gears into the business side, for those of you who know my, I guess, a slight obsession with flying and space and all things like that. I always cover these things when Elon completed his launch. But this week, Russell Brunson, the person behind Virgin Galactic, completed its first flight, finally making way for space tourism to be a reality. Now, the company was founded in 2004, and so has been in the works for nearly 20 years, but they completed their first flight carrying 3 passengers on the trip who paid about $450,000. Now, if you're wondering, how in the world did you continue to build a company for 20 years without maybe running out of money or just even staying in business? They have done a great job marketing to a very small percentage of the world who have this interest, similar to me. And they have had 800 people prepay to get this experience. Now, those 800 people have paid anywhere between $200,000 and $250,000. And with the success of this first launch, it now puts them on pace to start doing these trips more regularly, where they plan to have at least 1 flight per month starting in August. So really interesting news coming out of Galactic and Virgin headquarters, I guess. But the lesson that I wanted to share was, and we've covered prepay or pre-sales as a method to raise funds for your venture, but you see it coming through here in a major way. Yes, we know of raising money as another alternative, but the reality is that's not really something that, at least I've seen done on a major scale for personal brands or service-based businesses or even product-based businesses in the way that we do it in the online space. So pre-sale, definitely bank on that. You saw about 800 people paying that amount. That gives you enough capital, to carry it through. And of course, have other ventures, right? I mean, clearly Virgin Airlines, a business that is producing revenue, is more profitable. Other ventures in his portfolio that are producing revenue. So it's just another reminder for us that not everything that we're building today is going to maybe be experienced in the moment, right? Something that you build and experience 20 years from now. It's like, you got to think about that. Like, man, can I check off enough things off of my list so that I can get to a point where my business portfolio, I'm working for something that I'll see in 20 years. So yeah, just 2 things to add to that first successful trip. Now, I got to ask the question, would you go to space? My answer is absolutely yes. I just won't be the first one to do it. Those first 3, they're a little risky for them to go up there. Now let's see. I don't know that I want to be a part of a test run to something like that. Well, no, I'm hoping I could be, like a low relationship vibe. Like, but no, if she's like, oh, really? Oh, that sounds nice. So Russell? Right. Yeah, we're friends. Imagine. So you and Russell are friends. Okay, got it. Makes sense.
That's interesting. I like that. Yeah, let us know if you would go to space. Go hit us up on YouTube. We have a community tab about this episode. Drop that in the comments of that. For me, no. Not
with it.
No, I'm good. I have a lot of things to do on Earth. A lot of experiences I want to do. What is this? What do they have? Like the 7 wonders of the world, the 9 whatever.
That's right.
I want to figure that out. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I'd rather do that I don't think I really have a true desire to do that, except for the Northern Lights. The Northern Lights look fire, right? But
Fire.
I'd rather do that besides let's go up and then let's go back down. No, what is there? But I'll put on my Oculus.
Yeah.
You know, soon to be.
I was thinking about that
soon to
actually.
be Vision Pro. You feel me? I'll put my Vision Pro on next year and experience what it is to be
I get the experience.
outer space. Yeah. What? No,
I mean,
I'm good.
you'll save yourself about $447,000 in the process. So I guess that's a nice alternative to it.
Yeah, I have an amazing imagination to the point where 9 out of 10 times I don't really leave my house because my imagination is amazing and I don't need to travel anywhere.
know.
So
I know.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think this next clip is actually going to be a great setup for not leaving the house and being okay with it. Because I typically lose my mind when I'm in the house for about 2 days straight. I'm like, why am I feeling this way? Oh, I haven't stepped outside. That's why.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Nope. I think my
Different
only
strokes for different folks, like they say.
whatchamacallit, my only go away was what was it? Whole Food. And then I started ordering from Amazon for Whole Food. So it's starting to get slim, people.
What was the other spot that you went to like regularly? Dang it. What is it?
Really
It was like a pre-pandemic vibe for you. Dang.
I don't know. I haven't done a lot since
It's like I think you see like a pretzel from there. It was like
Wawa.
it was like an everyday thing.
Wawa.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, no,
Every day.
because
Is that still
I'm
a
eating
thing?
different. I can't go to Wawa.
So no more Wawa.
Yeah, no
Wow.
more Wawa for this season. I'm not gonna say forever.
For this season.
Because I have an
love it.
addictive
I love
mindset.
it.
So the second that I get a pretzel, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. So yeah, no Wawa for me. But let's get into the creator of the week, okay? And this week is going to be Justin Moore, the creator and CEO of Creator Wizard. And this amazing individual was brought to my attention through some of the social media programs that I'm in. And he is such a help to creators on how to monetize their brand through brand deals and sponsorships. And especially with this episode, you're going to hear how important that is. But he is constantly dropping tips over and over again. And if we're going to talk about credentials, he's gotten about $5 million of brand deals and sponsorships himself, and not with a huge following, and which is amazing. So here's one of his tips.
Creators, if a brand has ever asked you if they could repost your content, but you actually want to get paid for it, bookmark this video because I've got a template for you. Hey name, it's so great to connect and I'm honored that you liked my post. And then you insert a sentence here re-emphasizing why you love the brand, the product so much. I'm absolutely interested in granting your brand the rights to repurpose my content. Can you share a few details such as how long the usage term would be? Also, are you looking to just repost it organically on your social handles or on your website? Or are you also looking to secure paid media rights? I'd also be happy to grant whitelisting rights if that's something you're interested in. Let me know what budget you've set aside for this collaboration and we can talk next steps. Justin.
Super fires. Hopefully y'all took notes on that one, because that may come up for you guys or have already came up. But go check out Justin. I believe his personal one is like Justin Moore Fam, but where all the tips are is Creator Wizard. He is amazing. I'm in one of his programs right now for the podcast in order to get some more brand deals and sponsorships for us. So go check out Justin. He's amazing. He's here to help creators and personal brands. So yeah, go do that. So, of course, I got to ask Moose, did you know of Justin?
Drum roll, please.
Oh, man, wait. Hold on. I have one.
This is the long drum roll. I remember this from last time.
You got to.
Not as of 2 weeks ago. So recently. But this is why this is one of my favorite segments, because I get to learn about creators that are worth noting or knowing about. And so it's I get to be a listener on this segment of the podcast. Most of the times I'm being educated myself, like, okay, I'm about to check out Justin. But no, really great information. I think it makes the money conversation so easy because it expresses just extreme professionalism, right? It's like, exactly what you're going to say. Those 3 questions show that you are obviously in this business. This is not just something that you do for fun, and it makes the money conversation rather easy, and it gets right to the point. So I love those tips. Those are really good.
Facts. Now let's get into the blueprint. And today we're diving into something that is super crucial for the success of a personal brand, which is the power of focus. Now, who's going to illustrate this is actually somebody we've gone over a few times on the podcast. He's one of the most successful content creators of this time, which is MrBeast. And MrBeast, though he does the most craziest videos, from giving away millions of dollars to life-changing challenges, what makes him successful is not necessarily his unique content, but the 3 things that he is focusing on. And so we got a clip from the latest Colin and Samir interview that he had with them. Shout out to them. We're going to react to the power of focus and how can we even apply it for ourselves.
3 things that my entire world revolves around. I work out every day, I work on main channel videos, and I work on Feastables. It's just those 3 things. Yeah. I wake up, I do that, and then when I'm done, I go to bed. And I just do that every day. The amount of hours I've spent studying stuff is like something that's interesting is like, how they say it takes 10,000 hours to master something, right? Yeah. Obviously, everyone says that. And everyone's like proud when they're like, I put 10,000 hours into this thing. I'm going to put 10,000 days into this. Like, literally, I'm going to, 10,000 days is like 30 years, and I'm almost 15 years in.
Now, what's interesting about this, and Moose, I would love your take on it, where these 3 things, I don't think is just done by coincidence. If we break down what he said, which was workout, his main channel, which is all his videos, and then Feastables, we could break that down into these 3 categories. We got health, we got passion, and we have business, right? The cool thing is that I believe 2 of the 3 fuels the main one, which is the passion. But Moose, I would love your take on the power of focus.
Yeah, one of the concepts that we spoke on once on the live show, I don't think we mentioned it on the podcast, but the Pareto principle, that's something that I truly live and believe in, which is a concept that says 80% of the outputs come from 20% of the inputs. And so for most people, when you think about all of the things that you have, you think that they come from all the things that you do. And in reality, much of what you have, or much of the results that you see in your business, your personal life, and your brand, or any of those things, they only come from just a select few activities that we take part in. And so this is a great way for us to take inventory. But the thing that I do want to also add here is life-work balance, harmony, work-life balance. Some people flip it around because, they want life to come first, or others want work to come first. That this just really shows how much of a personalized definition that is. Some people, they get so much fuel and energy from the thing that they do, and they also are able to monetize and make money from it, that they don't need to do much other than just those things, right? Like for others of you listening who you might have said like, well, this guy has no life. I mean, he clearly does nothing but those 3 things, and he wakes up and goes to sleep. Like, there's no color in what he explained, but just know it's a very personal definition. And I think that's why a lot of us are, we can't put our finger on it. You know, like some people say, oh, it has to be this and you have to do that. But no, it really is a personal definition of what it is for you. You know, some people are happier working more, others need to work a little bit less and do other exploration, and that exploration stimulates or creates creativity, and they dump that creativity back into their brand or their business. So it's very, very personal, subjective definition is what I will say as it relates to what he talked about there.
I like that. Now, I got to agree that there is a personalized meaning for what work-life balance is and what people may feel is like a workaholic in situations. Like for me, I love what I do. I think, what was it? Recently, I'm getting more into like, okay, Nicky, you're really jumping into like truly a full-time content creator. Like between your brand, between the podcast, you know, it's going all around content. And I'm like, okay, cool. I love what I do. It's nothing crazy. I don't need a break from it, you know. But when I listen to this, once again, I look at the 3 things that he's focusing on and how 2 of them is fueling the passion, right? One is providing the funds, which is Feastable. He created Feastables, not just because he loves food, but because he needed ways to fund the situation, which is all his videos, right? His videos like cost millions to make. He did one just recently, $1 versus like $1 million yacht, right? And it's made over 130 million views. It was ranked the second most YouTube viewed in like 24 hours. So with that takes a team, that takes, equipment, the actual yacht. He had Tom Brady in there. He had Pete Davidson in there. Now, I'm assuming it was, I don't know. I don't want to assume if it was free or paid, whatever. But he had amazing people in there. That cost a lot of money. And though he was asked like, yo, couldn't you not do a video for so much? It's like, yeah, I could. But why? I want to. He's known for giving away a lot of money. I want to continue to give away money. I want to continue to have creative freedom. So, boom, I understand the importance of money. I don't move off of money, but I understand the importance of money. And so hence why we have Feastables and some of the other ventures. Now, when it comes to the workout, even though in the actual interview, he said that he started working out because he did a bet. But we all know that when our health is good, we're able to have the stamina that we need to continue with our passion, which for him is to continue to make all these different videos. Now, I believe he's doing like 2 videos a month, but if you've ever watched any of his videos, it takes like a month of planning, weeks of recording and editing and that whole 9. So it takes energy to not only think of all these different ideas, but to actually do them as well. So everything goes back to the main thing. It makes me think of like, is all the things that I'm focusing on, is it fueling the main thing, or am I scattered? And so I look at that in this season that I've narrowed it down to my 3, which is Nicky and Moose, Deeper Than the Brand, and My Mental, right? And everything that has to deal with that. But even when thinking about that still has all these little tasks here and there that can still seem very overwhelming. I mean, your own business is overwhelming. Having a consistent podcast can seem overwhelming because of all the things that are going about it. So even watching this makes me think, okay, how can I narrow it down even more of my focus? Because if I can break big situations into smaller things and focus on the small joints, then everything else will fall in line. But am I, even though I was having 5, 6, 7 things that I was focusing on, because multitaskers always go like, I could do it all. Shout out to my multitaskers. But even though I narrowed it down to my 3, do I have to narrow it down even more?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like we can think about like the whole niche situation, but am I still thinking a little bit too much? That's why for me, I'm kind of like, how does one thing like feed into the other things?
Yeah.
That's how I'm kind of thinking.
I really like, and I really like what you said. I think it was on our archive episode, but you were saying that focusing on certain segments of the major concept in a particular season. Like I think that is really good too, because you're right. It's really difficult to balance all 3 or just have just 3. I can't tell you what are my 3 right now. I know usually once Ramadan comes around, the last 2 years I've gotten really sick in the start of the month of Ramadan. This year we had a baby 2 or 3 weeks before the month of Ramadan. So it's like the last couple of years have been really interesting. And so I've just narrowed at least 3 things that I know if I keep in that order, I will do fine. And that number 1 is my faith. Number 2 is my health. And the third one is a 2-way tie between family and work, or like my career. And so I know if I can do them in that order, I usually end up being in a good enough space to do everything else. But I couldn't tell you like, okay, from a business standpoint, what are those 3? So I think my takeaway from it is, of course, get more focused, have more clarity around what ways or what areas you're focused in on, but what are the subcategories of the business, of the brand, are you focused on this month, this quarter, this year, that you can really carry out? I like that strategy, Nick. So I think that's dope.
Yeah. Like that. Now, MrBeast has not only captured the attention of millions of viewers, right? But he's also redefined what we think about advertisement in this digital age. So when we think about MrBeast, we know of Feastables, and he literally is proving that creators don't only have to promote other brands, but they can promote their own brand. And here's what he has to say about that.
We talk to these like marketers, and they're just like, I only get X amount of money a quarter to sponsor YouTubers with. And I'm like, well, for one video, it costs more than that. And they're like, well, then what do we do? And I'm like, I don't know, but like, I'm not going to just give you a discount because your boss won't give you more money. Like, this is 200 million views. It's double the Super Bowl. It is what it is. And so it's like harder and harder to find brand deals for us that keep up with the pace. Ideally, one day, I don't have to do brand deals anymore. I don't like having to promote other companies, but I also like making the best videos possible. Right. And my videos don't make money. Yeah. Even when I do a brand deal on a video, I still lose money. I lose like over $1 million a video, and I have to supplement it to like gaming or reacts or through other means.
The fact that he has to lose money when doing a brand deal, that's crazy. But with with that example, there's a few things that I could unpack with that. But one, of course, is there are always brands looking at our audience. Always brands looking at our audience. So it's not that he's promoting Feastables because brands aren't interested. Oh, no, they're interested. They just can't pay him the money. It makes no sense sometimes for him to do a brand deal because that's almost their whole paycheck, like the brand's paycheck, because it takes a couple of $1 million to make the videos, and he's probably not giving them ticket price. Here you go. Here's this, and plus, my likeness. So, but let's think of it as smaller creators, because we don't have that problem. When it's like, nope, my price tag is too high, you can't work with me. Well, some creators may think like that. That's cool. But what listening to MrBeast teaches us is that one, influencer marketing is real. Whether we are marketing for other brands or whether we're marketing for our own brand, we are the sole creator of our brand. If we create products and services, we should be the number one content creator that's pushing it. But that doesn't mean that we can't make some money on the side from these brand deals. Goldman Sachs actually made a report earlier this year that talks about the sources, the main sources that creators have. And 70% of that does come from brand deals and sponsorships. Other ones are AdSense, starting your own brand, affiliate links, courses. Some don't make no money, tips, and other things. So, but as you can see on the chart, if you're watching the video, where 70% of creators are making money from brand deals. So what we have to do is, how are we positioning ourselves to get that bag? How are we creating an amazing platform? And I'm not saying an amazing platform that has millions of subscribers like MrBeast, thousands of followers or anything like that. Are you having dedicated followers? Because brands could go for the 500,000 subscribers, followers, 20, whatever, but maybe a small portion of that is only their audience, where you may be creating a dedicated audience towards audio equipment. And Rode, shout out to Rode, is now looking for influencers to talk about some of their new mics. They'll look at you before they really go to the big names, because they know you have the audience that they're looking for. So I don't want creators and personal brands to feel discouraged because they only have 500, 1,000 followers and that whole nine. You should be able to write out. We shout out to Mario Armstrong, because he was one of the first people that was like, yo, list out the brands that you want to work with. List out the brands that you want to work with. So I actually, in our YouTube community tab, go over there, name some people that you want to work with. Name some brands you want to work with that you are now being intentional with growing your platform to possibly have these certain brand deals that you can. But bare minimum, if you don't do the brand deals or are not there yet with the brand deals, what products or services are we creating? What business are we creating you can say on the side or maybe full time, however you want to go about it in your journey, that we are our own influencer to our own business.
Yeah. And for the reason that you stated exactly, or what Mr. Beast said in the clip around when brands say, hey, I don't have that money, that's actually the reason or the opportunity for smaller creators to also get access to some of the funds. And I think both brands and smaller creators, I think they're called, is it micro or macro creators? I don't know. I always confuse the two.
I think it's micro.
Okay,
micro
so
influencers.
so that's where micro influencers and creators get an opportunity to partner with major brands for that primary reason, because bigger influencers just command too much of their budget. And so they understand, hey, I'm better off being able to work with a wider array of talent that can sprinkle in a couple of customers that will purchase my product or service than allocating all of my funds or all of my marketing budget to just one person and hope that it goes absolutely okay. We've seen it happen in a major scale with bigger companies, right? It's a reason why Geico does not have a face that they partner with, because we've seen it with, whether it be with athletes, they put all of their funds, or brands bank on this one person having a perfect reputation, and they're human. And so I think other brands are trying to protect themselves from that, but it opens up the opportunity for micro creators and micro influencers to get in the game. And at the same time, I think that this is the great equalizer that creators will serve to the business world, right? Which is developing their own products and services. And for those of you who are, again, what Nicky said, saying, wait, I don't have 100 million views a month. That's okay. What you do have is the time to learn.
1.34 billion a month.
Oh,
yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, I was trying to look out a little bit.
1.34 billion a month is what MrBeast does. 2 videos.
Unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, I saw in one of the charts, $54 million is his content revenue, just content share annual, which is insane. But the point to that is, even if you don't have that, what you do have is time to invest around product development, business development, right? And that shows us, okay, in the long term, I have to look at my content, my personality, my influence as my marketing channel, my marketing department. That's my marketing talent. But I also need to develop another talent, another team, another something that helps me to develop product and services so that I can have my own formal company, as opposed to relying on an outside source for revenue.
Yeah, I agree. Don't wait for the deals, because even with him, he didn't wait for a brand deal that could honestly pay him his ticket price.
Right.
Like it doesn't like you said, it doesn't make sense to do it with any of these people. Now, as we'll get he has some partnerships, and I do believe that's because of the relationships that he can do with festivals, right? Like I believe he's partnered with 7-Eleven, right?
Yeah, he did a partnership. Well, I think he's already Feastables is already in Walmart, but he recently partnered with 7-Eleven and then Speedway gas station. So just those two alone, they put the product in almost, I think it's, what is it? 15,000 stores or 15,000 locations across the country.
That's crazy. But, there's going to be some brand deals that are going to be strictly for relationships, which I do believe he does, right? But I got to agree with Moose. Let's not sit and wait for these brand deals to come, these sponsorships to come. Let us have a little bit more control of the income that happens with our creations by creating a product or service, our own business that, down the line won't necessarily need us to continue. That will be the true journey of our, personal brand / creator journey. So, yeah. So remember, go to our YouTube community tab where we're talking about this this episode, and just drop some dream brands. Who would you love to work with? Who would you love to get a check from? Let us know that. Now, let's get into this or that. All right. This segment is sponsored by the Flight Assessment, flightassessment.com. Discover your personal superpower and learn how to use your superpower to become a master communicator, strengthen all your relationships, and develop the self-awareness you need to fulfill your highest potential. Now, this one is brought to you by Moose, because he gave this clip to us, where it is, do we go with the masses or do we focus it a little bit narrowed down? Jason Derulo, a pop artist, right? Pop music star, sold millions and millions, created a book, I believe. He wrote a book, and he's kind of on tour, or this press tour. He had an interview with Forbes. And how he picked his music career, or the genre that he was in, is actually pretty interesting. And I don't know if many people think of it like that. So we've, on this podcast, have really championed niching down. But does this change our mind? Let's listen.
Why you decided to choose pop over R&B? And you said, I didn't choose which genre I love the most or which one came the most naturally to me. I chose the genre that the greatest number of people listen to because I wanted to be the biggest artist in the world.
Because it's not the pop star thing to say, right? It's not the musician thing to say, to be like, I chose this because of numbers, you know? But it is the music business. There hasn't been a musician to start off pop ever. Black musician to start off pop. They always start with urban, and then you know, kind of crossover is the word. So I was like, well, why can't it be me?
Moose, do you go with the mass appeal or the niche focus, and why?
Yeah, so let me first even say why I chose this clip, because it goes against almost everything that I even teach, right? Where I say, hey, you have to go with what comes most natural to you, what is within your superpower, what is easiest, etc. And then I listen to this and I'm saying, it reminds me of when Will Smith talked about the way he chose his movies. Now, if you follow Jason Derulo or Will Smith, you know that they're actually friends. So there might be some similarities. There might be some, you know, like-minded strategizing, thinking that's happening there. But I found that really interesting that not everyone succeeds with banking on what they like, what comes natural to them. Some people actually find more of a challenge or more of a high in saying, let's go for it. Like, why not me? And so it was a good wake-up call to me and say, do I have opportunity to do something like that? Like, is there something that I've said to myself as maybe, oh, you're too introverted, or you don't like this, or you don't like that? Is there an opportunity for, you know, even myself to go against the grain and do something completely unorthodox? And the fact that it is out of the blue or not so natural, maybe that's the reason for its success, right? Like the surprise element helps create its success. Of course, naturally for me, I vote on the side of, oh, you relied on numbers, right? Like that as a data-driven person or someone who likes numbers, I'm going to lean on that side. Oh, that sounds like an informed decision because you banked on numbers. But aside from that, I did want to highlight to those of you who are listening, and heck, as a reminder to myself as well, what if the natural or relying on your natural isn't the only way to do it, right? Maybe there's opportunity or circumstance for it to be done differently as well.
So, shout out to Jason Derulo. But I think he still niched down, even though it may not think that. Let me explain. So, mass appeal, right? Speaking to the masses, trying to go for everyone. 9 out of 10 times has huge competition. That's why a lot of people don't like. That's why I suggested to niche down, because to kind of stand out more. But his reasoning is not like there really isn't a black person who's done it this way. Most of them go urban, then pop. So I can stand out. If I go pop first, and let's be honest, I mean, numbers wise, if you want to talk about it, like getting into the music business, period, is crowded. You go to hip hop, you go R&B, you go whatever. It's still very crowded, right? So going into, for him, the urban, whether it is R&B, whether it's hip hop, you know, you're now going into a huge pool of other people of your ethnicity. How do you stand out? You know, okay, maybe you can dance. That's great. Okay. But if you go pop, though you have, you know, the biggest of big stars, and that competition's heavy, but you still stand out because you are the black guy dancing around doing pop music. Why are you not like your other people rapping and singing R&B music? So I see where he's trying to say there, but I think it's still a strategic move that gives more of a niche focus without necessarily being like thinking that he was doing that from maybe numbers as far as how many people listen to this, how many people are in the pop section, that whole nine. But who's to say there isn't so many rappers and R&B people compared to pop people? I don't know. I don't know how many artists are doing either or. I know so much of the R&B and the hip hop world. There's a lot of people trying to do that. I don't know how many people, but granted, pop goes towards a lot of ethnicities. So there may be a whole bunch of other people who are trying to be pop stars. Not really sure, but like I said, it normally going to the mass appeal has more competition. Him going and already seeing the gap, it makes me feel as if he's going more towards niche, just because of how he stands out.
Yeah, and you make a good point about that, because my mind went strictly to the demographic. It's like the demographic of people who might tune into pop music, they come with a completely different median household income than those who subscribe to rap and R&B. And so I'm thinking of it through that calculation of saying, all right, if I go into a world of let's say an industry or a niche where people they can afford to pay more, I can be able to almost do more with less, right? Like I don't need that much people just because the average customer or the average listener is going to be able to attend more of my shows in the case of Jason Derulo and music, right? Maybe they can spend more on merch, or they can support my movement or buy more of my music, right? So I think of it more of that way. It's like, hey, can you pick your space where even the statistics of your demographic is going to help, even if you don't reach the super mass appeal in that area. It's like, they still even out in the long term.
Yeah, I agree. Well, listen, people, let us know. Did he really go towards the masses, or did he still do a niche version of it, right? Go to our YouTube community tab, comment there, or if you're watching this video, go do that. But our audio people, definitely go to our YouTube and hit the community tab. So, of course, we have an after show of this episode that drops on Wednesdays. So go check that out because we have a lot to talk about tonight, clearly. And then Creator Av every Friday, 6 a.m. Really, really dope. Please go check that out. On top of that, every Tuesday, we do a YouTube live. Well, let me not say every Tuesday because it's going to change up in August and we're going to announce that as well. But we go live on YouTube, people. So turn on that bell, that notification bell, so you always know, and then join our newsletter. Our newsletter will tell you when we go live and that whole nine and when the episodes are there. It's great. Moose, final words.
Do it anyway. I mean, this episode is proof that delay, inconvenience, frustration are all going to pop up on the journey, but you only know about them because we did it anyway. If we quit, you would never know about it. So do it anyway.